Last month marked my 10th year of film reviewing. Who would have thought that after I released my first video on the Minimum Effort channel back in September of 2012, I'd still be doing this shit independently a decade later? Not I, to be honest, as I thought that liver failure would have guided me to Valhalla long before this milestone. Fear not though, efforts will be doubled in the name of avoiding a possible 11-year anniversary, let alone a 20th one. So there's this game where a group of you would each be dealt a card, one of which being different in some way to signify the murderer, I'm doing finger quotes. Once the cards are distributed, the person closest to the light switch flicks it, therefore turning the room into darkness. Whilst all participants are moving around, the murderer will then kill someone by ways of tapping them on their shoulder or what have you. That victim is to then lie on the floor up to the point where they're found by another player who must immediately announce their discovery. The lights are then to be turned on so the investigating can begin. If someone is wrongly accused, they're executed, again finger quotes. Then the lights go out once more and the game will continue as before until either the murderer is exposed by the others after any round or the body count can't go any higher, making the murderer victorious as they have kept their identity a secret throughout. Sounds like fun, however I'd never play it due to my unhinged misanthropy, but I digress. Bodies uses that game as its foundation, with a handful of drink and drug fueled Gen Zs and Greg partaking in a hurricane party serving as the setting. Because horror movie, the game, dubbed here as the film's title, takes a turn for the better when it starts racking up deaths for realsies, so it's up to the Zoomers and Greg to get to the root of it all before their local morgue becomes more overburdened than Daniel Cormier's Uber Eats account. Now, did I go into this expecting to see a revolution in the black comedy or horror genre? Of course fucking not, but I'll happily admit that it was way better than I initially anticipated. I don't do the pleasant surprise of the year anymore, but if I did, I'm certain that Bodies would be awarded that piece of silverware. The movie projects a very intimate vibe. It revolves around only 7 characters that are quite generic but portrayed with decent acting by a wonderfully chosen cast. Also, 99.9% of the film's 1 hour and 34 minute duration takes place in a singular location, which could have gotten super stale super fast if it wasn't for the aforementioned acting, decorous set design, solid cinematography, and a soundtrack that's more fit for purpose than an AIDS-infested bear trap would be for Bobby Kotick's face. Overall, I fully endorse Bodies' pacing. However, there's one particular scene in Act 3 that kind of buttfucks the fluidity. On approach to the end credits, the remaining survivors start interrogating each other to find motives by ways of bitching about one another and unloading their bullshit across the heated exchanges. Don't get me wrong, that would absolutely happen, and if I were in such a situation, I'd fucking thrive. You know, right before resuming my covert killing spree, of course. No, my problem with the scene is the dialogue, not the way it was delivered, but the lines themselves. To me, the characters' opinions on the topics they're harking on about are stereotypical to an eye-rolling degree. I don't know if it's down to the writer projecting her very basic views on the subjects, or perhaps the actors used the movie as a platform to voice their own personal psychobabble. Fuck knows, could be neither or both of these possibilities. To be candid, I've got no fucking clue. Nevertheless, it felt like if anything even remotely associated with research on the matters took place, it didn't go further than the very first page spaffed out by the search engine. Truth be told, this is a minuscule blemish on what is predominantly a positive experience, so I'm willing to overlook it in the same way I would if Kairi Sane were to open her legs, thus revealing a swastika tattoo residing above her cunt. Like I'd give a fuck, and there's no chance I would wear safety goggles for the occasion. The majority of the forenamed positive experience came courtesy of a twist that took place in the dying embers of the runtime. Holy fucking shit, it's a doozy, and I honestly didn't see it coming until the build-up, complemented by the perfect backing track, was set in motion. From that moment up until the voluptuous climax, I quickly concluded that this was comfortably the most refreshing ending to a whodunit I'd seen in a very long time. Even if Bodies was complete shit, which it isn't, I'd still recommend it for this marvellous deviation in narrative alone. However, I couldn't advocate it to the slasher genre classicist because the gory kill tally is equal to the volume of clout, praise, and recognition received by this very fucking channel.